Yes. Om Namah Shri Shankarananda. It's better the moment we start saying this Mangalacharan mantra, it is better we start moving the mind within. Within means away from the world outside. Why? We will understand. Namah Shri Shankarananda. Salutation to Sri Shankarananda, who is saying that I am doing namaste to my teacher. The author and the master who is enlightened, he is saying that, I have a profound reverence and gratitude to my master. Why? There is no need. There is no need of reverence. Om Shri Shankarananda. Master, teacher is saying, who has written this text, who is considered one of the greatest masters of Eastern wisdom. He is saying why he is doing. Reverence and gratitude comes from the mind. Author had practiced Eastern wisdom for more than 12 years. He recognized that paying homage and gratitude to the teacher or knowledge of Eastern wisdom has helped him drop the attachment, delusion, impurities, and distraction. Then why not now? Understand, why not now? It means that my nature is now full of reverence and gratitude to everything, because it changes behavior and attitude. And who the master knows very well that when ego takes over, the delusion will start. So he says that is the first line. And the second line says, to the lotus feet of my Guru, Guru Padam Gurjanmani. But why the lotus feet? Start with an openness of the mind. Will make you a seeker. If we are not a seeker, it becomes difficult for us to understand this entire journey. Openness of the mind, it is also an intention. Why it is an intention? I keep aside. Keep aside what I know. Why? Because I have yet to know. How? We will understand. So ego, impurity, delusion, misconception has made our mind its home, created a default mind, which is impulsive, deeply attached. So it's a symbolic expression of emotional and mental maturity that I place my ego, duality, impurities at your feet. Why it is your feet? It is not required in the journey of self-discovery. The last two lines is a metaphor that we have covered many a times. The delusion of a crocodile, the Savilas Mahamoha, the great delusion with all its manifestation. One delusion, millions of manifestation, whose sole function is to devour this monster of delusion. Whose sole function? Knowledge of the Eastern wisdom. Knowledge, or the teacher who explains sole intention is that you remove your delusion and see what happens. Open your eyes. The last session we had, many people shared it, and that sharing was little challenging. So I'm making it very simple, step by step today. Provided you are not lazy, you are not sleeping while listening. It's okay even if you are sleeping, so we can have another session. It's okay. So the first step is the Mangalacharan. Now the second step. Second step, I create a acronym SYA. Sanskrit words. Shruti, Yukti, Anubhuti. Shruti means revealed wisdom. Yukti means reasoning by intellect. How? By listening and learning, contemplation and reflection. Anubhuti, experience, direct realization and experience. My master used to repeat this Shruti, Yukti, Anubhuti. Is it right, sir? He knows it, yeah. So the Shruti means I should receive the truth from the principles of Eastern wisdom. Yukti means I confirm it with the reasoning, by explanation, by understanding cause and effect. And Anubhuti means experience realized through the direct experience. Only 3 steps are necessary. In order to reach to these 3 steps, we have other simple sub-principles. Let us pick up another way of this SYA. Shruti means which is heard. Which is heard means what? In deep meditation, thousands of masters in the tradition of Eastern wisdom, which is more than 8,000 years old. Even if you don't take 8,000 years old, you say, oh, we are doing a gossip. So we found a manuscript of Rig Veda, one text which is where the dating, carbon dating says it belongs to 3500 BC. 3500 BC plus 2000, even if you take 5000. But main thing is that thousands of masters practiced meditation. In that meditation, that knowledge is revealed. So here the word is used, that knowledge is heard by those masters. And they were composed as Upanishads. So those verses which were taught 5,000 years ago and are still taught here today. So that is the message of being heard. So you have to hear, you have to listen and learn. You have to contemplate and reflect. So the second word is the contemplation and reflection. Where is Yukti? Yukti, literally, Yukti means to find the way. But how to find the way if you don't apply the intellect? What is the way? To get rid of the delusion. And in a sense, it means reasoning, logical analysis, skillful application of thought. Can you apply thought by when you are lazy and sleeping? In the last 5 years, have you seen me any time that, okay, just, you be in meditation, I'm just taking a rest. So to remain energetic at the level of the intellect, it demands certain practices. We'll talk about it. But the second step is, I told you, Shruti, Yukti and Anubhuti. Yukti means logical analysis. Logical analysis. But there is another meaning of this Yukti. You don't put a logic to separate, to disintegrate, to break up in parts. You bring a logical analysis to skillfully joining. It is an intelligent reasoning. That is the meaning of the second. So if your intellect is not alert, you will not be able to learn. Third is, so once you have the intelligent reasoning and understanding, anubhuti. What is anubhuti? Direct experience. What is the direct experience? It is intuitive assimilation of the truth. Anubhuti. That which follows the being, realization, that which follows. Which follows? I have done the intellectual, intelligent reasoning. Oh, intelligent reasoning. He looks like a rabbit, it's too far. And then I put, no. His face is like this, his height. Okay, he is. So I have a direct realization. Just giving you a glimpse of it. So the second step, first step is Mangalacharan. Second step is, I'm just summarizing what I talked in the last session, totally in a different way. That is the job of this teachers of the Eastern wisdom. So Shruti, Yukti and Anubhuti. Listening and learning, contemplation, reflection, intelligent reasoning, and ultimately experiencing. So here this master says you don't need to practice, because once you have an intelligent reasoning, you have a conviction. How you have a conviction when you wake up in the morning that you are Janice? Janice recognizes that he is Janice. Janice does not recognize that he has become David. What is that conviction? How come it has come? Is it possible? Answer is yes. So now come to another topic. It is about the thought. I'm speaking, passing on this knowledge by the thought. So we will understand the relationship between the thought and the consciousness. How can you understand? Can you separate and bring it before me? No. So then we have to use the metaphor to understand this thought relationship between the thought and the consciousness. This is how I can only go into the genius of this master 0.00001%. But I'm thinking that how his intellect genius is working. So let us understand step number 3, the thought and the consciousness. Thought plus consciousness is perception. Here is David. It is perception. Consciousness, without the thought, I cannot have a perception. What is perception? Awareness. What is awareness? It's knowledge. What is knowledge? It is an understanding. Am I clear? Yes, so let us take a metaphor. The bulb and the electricity. Metaphor. Perception and the consciousness. The bulb burns. It looks like a single entity. Pay attention. You can even pay attention while sleeping, so no problem. So the bulb burns. It looks like a single entity. But basically there are two things. I see the bulb, it's one entity. It appears, but it has two entities, the bulb and the electricity. Am I right? Because I'm giving a daily life example, which you cannot deny. Why I'm giving daily life example which you cannot deny? Your intellect will follow. Intelligent reasoning. I'm quicking up second. Both are there. Then only the bulb burns. Simple electricity cannot make the bulb burn. And a simple bulb where electricity is not there cannot burn either. If electricity is not there, bulb cannot show the light. So both are necessary. but it appears it is only one. We are going into the causal plane, causal creation. This is what happens, how every perception appears as one experience but requires two distinct elements. Am I clear? Light in the bulb demands two, appears one. So it means for every perception in the world outside, I need two distinct elements. Did I explain the second principle of heart, logical reasoning, and experience? Now I experience without electricity, there is no light in the world. Without that consciousness, there is no movement in the body. You will say his body when there is no consciousness. Now you can say it by my name. Do you see how deeper it is? We have to contemplate and reflect. The bulb and the electricity, burning bulb represents perception or experience. What is this light is a perception. When I say you are David, I am hosting a session. That is my perception and understanding. But behind that, two things, consciousness plus thought. What is the purpose of this metaphor? Demonstrate the composite nature of perception. Every perception, awareness, understanding, knowledge is composite, complex. Shows how it appears unitary but has a dual component. It proves the interdependence. I cannot infer that there is electricity if the bulb has no light. But I can directly infer that because of the electricity, what it means, because of the consciousness, I am speaking to you. Because of consciousness, there is a thought. Understood? So let us move to the next step. I made it that I explain the three steps? You heard the thought, you followed the intelligent reasoning, and then you have an experience. No, I experienced. Similarly, consciousness without thought, not possible. Thought without recognizing the consciousness, not possible. But it does not mean consciousness is not there if the bulb is fused. If the instrument is not working, it does not mean consciousness is not there. Am I clear? Intelligent reasoning. So now we move to the next step. Let us use another metaphor, the light illuminating object metaphor. What it means? Pay attention. This face, this body is illuminated by light, or your face is also illuminated by your light, so I can see that you are present there, I am present here. Am I clear? Am I clear? Now, if I am absent, the light is still there. Light is all pervasive. Object is limited. So this body is an object, is limited, confined to one space, whereas the light is all pervasive. When this object is absent, the light is still pervasive. That is the beauty of the consciousness. Consciousness is all pervasive. I used to give an example. Light is falling on it, and that is why I see the left hand. What do you see? So you say I don't see anything. No, you see the light. mind is too much dictated by the objective reality. There is no one. You enter into the dark room, who is there? There is no one. No, but you are there, who is saying it? So the master is saying you have to move to the subjective reality. What we want to prove here, intelligent reasoning, follow the same thing. That this light is all pervasive, in not only in the room, outside the room. Similarly, the consciousness is all pervasive. But that is the only one characteristics of the consciousness in the light. It is independent of any object. Whether I am present or any other teacher is present, the light will remain present. Consciousness will remain present. Do you see the causal? We are moving into, we want to know what is the causal, cause. Not confined or limited by the thought, feeling and emotion. What it means? Thought is there, so we can infer consciousness is there. Even if the thought is not there, consciousness is there. Feeling is there, consciousness definitely is there. Because without consciousness, you cannot have a feeling or emotion. But if they are not there, consciousness is still there like the light. Look at the genius of this master. So he, by giving these two metaphors, I gave you a hint about something what we say. The thought plus consciousness plus perception. So keep that two metaphors in mind. Keep that the three steps. Shruti, I will pick up the principle of the Eastern wisdom which you hear. Then I will contemplate and reflect intelligent reasoning, and we will reach to the conclusion. After the conclusion, oh, you are a show, right? Conclusion. So I experience you. So let us see, can you do that? Can you do that? So then there is another metaphor for that. A cotton shirt and cotton shirt. How we produce it. We are hinting at the causal creation, invisible to senses and the mind, but it is there. Where it is there. If you make a shirt out of cotton material, little typical, you have to pay little more attention while sleeping and being lazy, still you have to pay more attention. So if you make a shirt out of cotton material, only Ashok smiles when I use the word lazy and sleepy. I don't know why. So if you make a shirt out of cotton material, then the shirt will be of cotton quality. Pay attention. It cannot be of silk. The properties of the material alone are inherent in the product. Two things: cotton shirt, appearance, physical level. Quality of the cotton inherent in it. The body made up of 5 elements. Invisible 5 elements are still present at the causal level. That produces an effect, and it gave me the hands and eyes and others. Let us make it simpler. Eye is an inherent quality of the eye to see. Inherent quality of the eye is to see, inherent quality of the ear to hear. It cannot be exchanged. It cannot be reversed. Inherent quality. What is the inherent quality of the sugar? Sweetness. So you cannot make the sugar salty. If you are tasting something as salty, it cannot be sugar. The inherent quality. Now come to the conclusion of intelligent reasoning. This is what the master is doing. Master is saying, I am proving the causal principle. What is the causal principle? Now I am using a different term, so don't get confused. Effect inherits the nature of its cause. Effects. There's a scientific principle. Effect inherits the nature of the cause. It's a cause and effect principle. If consciousness were produced by the inert matter, it would be inert. I'm proving the independence of the consciousness. Proves consciousness cannot be a product of thought or the brain. Well, let us understand again in a different way. So now we come to intelligent reasoning. There is an effect. Oh, what the heck we are talking, such a dry knowledge. Can I find real self that is of the nature of love, peace, happiness and wisdom? Answer is big yes. Provided you are a seeker, you follow this journey. So now come to the effect and the cause. Cotton shirt, I come to the cause and effect. The effect cannot be totally different from its cause. The effect cannot be totally different from the cause. The cause pervades the effect. The cause pervades the effect. The electricity pervades the bulb. You get a different thing, that is light. You don't get a shock. But the cause pervades the effect. A purely scientific principle. Cause in effect. Cause and effect. How dare you? I am your husband. How dare you? So there's a cause and effect. We are not going there. Take a clay pot example. The pot is nothing but the clay. Pot is nothing but the clay. The pot cannot exist apart from the clay. To prove that we all are consciousness, there is nothing but the consciousness, we have to take a journey of cause and effect. How can you say this body is, yes, we will prove that. Ornaments, ring, necklace may differ in shape, but all inherit the nature of the gold. All inherit the nature, it's gold. You melt them back, only the gold remains. You melt them back into the cremation ground, only the consciousness remains. You see that seed and another example, use seed and tree example. Seed has a potential of a tree. Cause and effect. Cause and effect. And did you understand? Say yes. So that we are now going to conclude. The effect inherits the nature of cause. Ultimate cause is the consciousness. The entire world of name in the form inherits the nature of the consciousness. What is the effect? Universe, also pervaded by the existence, consciousness and bliss. This is what we say. Whether you say we are real self, whether we say we are existence, consciousness and bliss, whether we say we are of the nature of permanent peace, happiness, love, truth and wisdom. So what is the effect? Body, the mind, the intellect and the ego. They contain some percentage of that ultimate cause. How they are present, in what manner, when we understand, we have a conviction, we know we are of the nature of the real. That is the journey of this entire text. If the cause is non-existence, if the cause does not exist, the effect cannot exist. Elephant is flying in the sky. There is no cause. The effect cannot exist. If the cause is of one nature, the effect cannot be of a contradictory nature. Pot cannot be without clay. The wave contains the water, the wave is the effect. So I identify myself with the wave and I fall into ignorance. I identify myself that I am the body. I fall into ignorance. What the master is saying, first understand the cause, then this master proves cause and effect are not two separate entities. Their manifestation is different. Now come to the main topic. Based on these metaphors, consciousness. First you understand what we say. Consciousness. What is consciousness? Consciousness is gold. What is the thought? Thoughts are ornaments. Problem is solved. What we are searching now, based on the discussion until now, we are searching our real self. And we say this real self is of the nature of SatChitAnanda. My master used to give the traditional examples based on the society, based on the people. I'm giving an example based on the group session we are. What is the core teaching of the Eastern wisdom? It says you find the real self. Keep your intention clear. Why to find real self? Because that your true nature is of the nature of peace, happiness, love, truth and wisdom. Why don't you find out? That is can you keep your mind focused on that? Master is asking. If you say yes, he says okay. Follow the principle. What principle? Shruti. First you pay attention to what the masters are saying. Then you bring the intelligent reasoning. And you reach to a point of conviction. The very second principle after Mangalacharana I discussed. What will happen? You will recognize that I am of the nature of. But then you say that, what do you say? You say that we are SatChitAnanda. Another term used of real self is SatChitAnanda, means existence, consciousness, bliss. So how do you explain the Sat? So Master is saying Sat refers to pure existence, the aspect of reality that simply is. That is existence. That is, I-S. What it means? David is. That is existence. Different from the name in the form. Ashok is. That is existence. I exist because of existence. I am not an existence at present with reference to this body. This is what the master is saying. So anything you say, the existence is present. Phone is existence. I am existence. So that existence is a common factor. That is why we say, we define real self as SatChitAnanda. SatChitAnanda, inherent. Then what about the Chit, which is consciousness? Light illuminating object, I gave you the metaphor. Chit is pure consciousness, a witnessing awareness. That illuminates all the experience. I told you, light is all pervasive, body is limited, phone is limited, computer is limited. So the thought is always limited, consciousness is all pervasive. Now the problem is there. We can experience the light as an object, but we cannot experience the consciousness as an object. Why? It is a knower, it is an illuminator, it cannot be objectified. Once we understand this, how you can understand? You have to repeat, contemplating, reflecting daily, practicing daily. The mind, the intellect will remove that impurity. Ashok, you still continue with Mangalacharan? Oh, very good. So it cannot be objectified. What about the Ananda? Ananda? Ananda, it is a. What is Ananda? Ananda, another way to understand that continued state of happiness is there. Why the continued state of happiness is there? Because the consciousness is all pervasive, existence is everywhere, there is no two, there is no duality. There is no duality, so there is no confusion, so it is infinite. So what is infinite brings the joy in your life. Did you understand? So the very causal aspect, causal creation, we have to bring in for our understanding what is the cause of it. What is the cause? But this cause seems to be invisible. So by inference, our master says that this is what the cause is. So when once we start finding the cause, I see you in the presence of the light, you as an object are my eyes. That is the first cause. But my eyes becomes the effect of my mind, because if the mind is not there behind, I cannot see you. I cannot claim, I cannot have a thought. It is very direct experience. But mind, sometimes it is upset, sometimes it is crazy mood, and the mood of the mind is changing. So it means there is someone who notices and observes. The mind changes, mind is upset, mind feels sleepy. There is something higher entity. What is that? What is behind the mind? That is what the real self is. That is what the real self is. So go behind the object, you land up to the eyes. Go behind the eyes or the sense organ, you land up to the mind or intellect. You go behind the mind and the intellect, you find the real self, and that real self is of the nature of pure consciousness. So in order to fully understand each and every aspect, a lot of doubts are there, so we will find out. Take an example that behind the object, eyes. When I say behind means what? The object cannot see my eyes, but my eyes can see the object. My eyes can see the mouse, but mouse cannot see it. It is at a higher level, which seems to be the cause. So we have to find out the cause why the group of cells consists of 5 elements in 3 gunas has a perception of sight, and the same material has a perception of sound. So we are not entering into modern science. We are entering into subjective domain, that how it is possible. And that is what the causal creation is. So once we touch that causal creation, from the causal we move down to the subtle level. Subtle means the mind, intellect, ego, and the faculty of the sense organs, and then we can appreciate how from the causal level to the subtle level, this body is composed of the 5 elements. It's a play of the 3 gunas. My perception is dictated by the ignorance because of the 3 gunas. If there is a tamoguna, my perception is dictated. How it is dictated? No, I don't want to listen to you. You are making me feel go. Yes, satoguna. Yes, I'm paying more attention. I'm trying to understand. Why? Because I have to find the real self. Rajoguna, my mind is distracted. So everything is going on behind my perception, behind my thinking, but I'm not aware of that. And when you are aware of that, intelligent reasoning leading to conviction, and it will lead directly to a direct experience of the real self. Yes, from my point of view, I made the things clear, or not, that you will decide. Yes, let us, now is the time to teach me. Who is will be the first? Yes.
सर वो बचपन से सुनते थे, गुरु नानक जी की बात थी कि अव्वल अल्लाह नूर उपाया कुदरत के सब बंदे, एक नूर से सब जब उपजा कौन भले कौन मंदे. तो दैट नूर इज कॉन्शियसनेस. अब पल्ले पड़ रही है, जब आपकी बात सुन रहा हूँ तो समझ में आ रहा है कि दैट इज कॉन्शियसनेस. मीन्स मतलब अव्वल अल्लाह नूर उपाया कुदरत के सब बंदे, एक नूर से सब जब उपजा, एक नूर से सब जग उपजा कौन भले कौन मंदे. मतलब who is good, who is bad. So that is what I am understanding now with what you are telling me.
Yes.
That is the consciousness which has given birth to everything in the existence.
Beautifully said. I cannot translate fully the saying of one great master, but I can give you the message that all the waves are the same because they inherit the same inherent nature of the water. Having said that, we all are same. Some of you, no, not some of you, everyone looking so beautiful and handsome than me, but still we are the same. That beautiful name and the form is outside, but inside it is the same. Water is the same. That is the essence. So it means, what is the ultimate cause? Ultimate cause is the consciousness. That is where we have to land up. Beautifully he reminded that message. Yes. Anyone, Dennis, you want to go ahead?
I have been asking this question about the cause of delusion many times, and today's session made me contemplate and make some conclusions as to what is the cause of the delusion. So usually we say that there is delusion and there is the opposite of delusion, which is truth or your existence or absolute consciousness. And it implies that delusion is different from the consciousness. But in fact, delusion depends on the consciousness. And without consciousness, delusion cannot exist as such. So delusion is not something completely different from the consciousness. It is rather a limited view of the consciousness. Like our sense organs and the mind perceive some limited aspects of the existence. And because their perception is incomplete and limited, we call this perception deluded. But the delusion still has some truth in it, because it originates from the pure existence. It's backed by the pure existence. It inherits some properties from the pure existence, as you described today. And due to the cause and effect relationship. So this leads to an interesting conclusion that the cause of the delusion is actually truth or pure existence or absolute consciousness. Can we say that?
Yeah.
Or
yeah, beautifully you put up the thing. Delusion depends on the pure consciousness, but pure consciousness is independent. It does not depend on the delusion. So when you remove the delusion, what remains? Only the consciousness. So what we say, that is the truth, that is the real. So we define the real, which is independent, which is all pervasive. Delusion, you rightly said, it is limited. It gives you a limited perception. Eyes give me a limited perception. Thought of being a husband or a wife or a father or a daughter gives me a limited perception. But it is a matter of convenience. It is a convenient language. But we use that language as if I am. That is a big delusion. Beautifully said. Want to say something more? That's good. So anyone who takes up, keep on thinking, Brandy. I will come to you later. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Just sort of clarification, the relationship between thought and consciousness is very fundamental to our practice and to our journey. And when you take it to the light bulb and the electricity, what comes to mind for me is the quality of those two elements affect the outcome. So am I correct in understanding that if the quality of the electricity is only 60 volts versus 120, we don't have that proper electricity like the bulb, or if the light bulb has a crack in it, so point being is they both have to have high quality, so we have to focus on the consciousness to create high quality, and we have to focus on the thought to create high quality. Is that a reasonable?
Yes. The bulb as compared to the volt, here you can compare it with Satoguna, Rajoguna and Tamoguna. The bulb with the less voltage, less powerful filament. Electricity is the same. Behind it, electricity is the same. See that is the beauty. It is the same, but the quality, the instrument. If the instrument is not pure, it cannot bring that electricity in its full capacity. So when we say, oh, my AC is not working, electricity is there. Do you see that? That is the beauty. Fan is not working. No, electricity is still there. Call the electrician and get it fixed. Water is still there. The faucet is not working. You see, we have many examples. Yes, rightly said. Yes, Jerry.
Thank you, sir. I really love all the metaphors, and consciousness is always perfect, pure. So anytime that the mind is limited, we know that we're in that tamasic or rajasic guna. But when we're in that sattvic guna, then we don't have limits. We see all the events of the changing world as an opportunity. And the consciousness then inspires our intellect and our mind and all of our senses to see it clearly and to then live from consciousness first.
Yes.
So we have tremendous faith in the consciousness that we don't see.
Yeah. So that is why the master is saying that ultimate cause is the consciousness, which is the real self, which is existence, consciousness, and bliss. Now you wake up in the morning with that understanding, with that knowledge, with that perception. You look at your honey, you don't have any conflict. You look at the people outside, you don't have any conflict. So that is a clear, direct perception. Plus, apparent perception will continue. The delusion will not die, but now the delusion helps you to live in the material world. Dennis, it helps you to live in the material world intelligently. Intelligently. What do you mean by intelligently? I know we both are one, but intelligently means what? I will move with the Satoguna. So it means Raju and Tamoguna is causing the conflict. It's better to leave it. Perhaps you got it. That is the way, that ultimately what happens in the state of the awakening, it fills you with that consciousness which you have never imagined. Brandy, you want to say something?
Sure. My reflection was similar to David's in that the metaphor about the light bulb was really useful. And I was thinking about when I was little and a light bulb would go out, when you would unscrew it to put a new one in, you shook it, right? Because I don't pretend to understand how a light bulb works, but especially the old kinds, but when you would shake it, it would kind of clink because the little thing in the middle would be disconnected, right? So the light bulb wouldn't work. So I was thinking about how you have to have that little connection within the function of the light bulb, like the function of the body, to connect with the consciousness, or your example, the electricity. Like everything kind of has to be in place.
Yeah. Yes. Everything has to be in the place. The fact is that everything is in the place, especially with our physical body, subtle body, and the causal body. We have to understand it. So that is why that understanding comes from listening, learning, contemplation, reflection, and ultimately, once we have a right 100% conviction, after intelligent reasoning, we know we are the real self. Why we are learning this? So tell me, Master asking the question, tell me who told you you are the body? Did you learn it? Who told you that you are the mind? Who told you that you are the ego? Nobody told. It's a default mind. It is instinctive. It is impulsive. It is ignorance. It is limited perception. So if nobody told you that you are the body, why don't you understand you are not the body? You are not the mind. You are not the intellect. You are not the ego. You are not the thought. You are not the limited perception. You are the pure consciousness. Harry, you want to say something? Perhaps we unmute it. Still, it is unmuted. Yeah.
Oh.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm trying to process all the information to be able to say something. It seems like the delusion is because of incompleteness
Yeah.
in our perception, because of we exist in time, but we only see ourselves at one moment.
Yeah, in one dimension.
That's the incomplete perception. That would be the ignorance.
Yes, that is what, we have to bring all these concepts together, and then we see ourselves. The physical body drops, our subtle body drops, causal body drops. What is left is the consciousness. What is left is the consciousness. You rightly said, first I have a limited perception. I don't have $1 million, so I have to earn it. So there is a sense of incompleteness. But it means my thought and my mind has an idea of completeness, getting $1 million. And at the same time, I'm struggling with the hollowness and emptiness within me. Both has come from the limited perception. Both are a matter of ignorance. Both is a matter of ignorance. I don't see, take a metaphor that I'm the water. I can claim that I'm the wave. No, I'm not the wave. I consider I'm only the ring of a gold ring. No, I'm the gold. And the gold cannot be changed. I don't remember the inherent nature. So in order to remind us intellectually, by intelligent reasoning, we move to the ultimate cause and we see that consciousness is the ultimate cause. Nothing can limit me. And we reach to that higher state. This is what the Master is teaching us. Now see that. Now before you want to get angry over someone, if you remind, this guy is also a wave, I am also a wave. Our origin of both of us is the same. Even if you think like this, you cannot get agitated. Are you getting it? You cannot get agitated. The origin, Terry, your origin and the origin of your mate is one common factor. How can you become angry over the mate? Origin is the same. Look at it. If the origin is the same, origin. So that is what we are trying to understand. So yes, Vaibhav.
Thank you, sir. Sir, today's understanding is like from the same example for electricity. So, like from the electricity flowing through a bulb and electricity flowing through a speaker is same. Like it is on the speaker object level, that from the speaker and the bulb, it seems different, but behind for electricity, everything is same.
Yeah.
So, putting that example to me. My mind sees the object sees from the eyes and from the ears are same, but from the object level, like from the eye level and from the ear level, both are different. And my mind is seized by the consciousness. So for a consciousness level, all minds are same, and from mind level and individual consciousness is developed, like my ego is developed, and so I see it differently. But from the conscious level, every mind is same.
Beautifully said. Beautifully said. For me to perceive an object, perceive means, I hear you, or I see you, or I touch you, or I smell you, whatever. They are different. But for the mind, all the senses says that you all are equal to me. If mind is an individual, it says you are all equal to me. We don't recognize this equality. That is why we have removed that DEY. I'm not going there yet. So anyhow, the mind has to be. Mind is one. No, I said something, Dan, is what is going on in our country. I'm comparing it with it. But for the consciousness, there are not all minds. All the mind is one. Are you getting it? For the consciousness, mind is one, but for me, it is my mind, for you, it is your mind. That is the delusion, that is ignorance. That causes the impurity. And that needs to be removed. How? Same thing, listening these principles, because it educates my mind to follow these. Why we have to follow these principles? Because it opens up, it explores. Science cannot explore the subjectivity because they have never gone into this area. They are looking for objective reality. So when you start exploring, you find yes to all the principles. And that yes conviction results into a consistent and a constant awareness of that real self you recognize. That is the beauty. So very good. Thank you very much. You all shared wisdom, and that is really good. Continue to share. We'll meet again. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Namaste.
Namaste, everyone.
Goodbye.